Hello, I am Nihar Pathare, Vice President IT for 63 Moons, and we have the pleasure of having Alex Gostau, the Chief Security Officer from Kaspersky. I would like to know, there's so much technology changing in the BFSI, everything's going mobile, we have Bitcoin coming, blockchain coming, everything's coming into it. What do you see the threats in this sector?
You know, for India, for Indian financial sector, for banking sector of India, I think now the most significant trend, of course, it's using of mobile technologies for online banking, for mobile banking, and you know, right now after this cash denomination in India in November last year, there is value of money transfer with mobile technologies, with mobile banking, it's almost doubled, right? It's 2 times more.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, we seen decline in payments via credit card, via debit cards.
Yes.
So that means in future, this trend will continue, and more mobile users in India, users for online banking platform, will appear. At the same time, we have a lot of, as I said, we have a lot of mobile malware around the world right now, and unfortunately, India one of the leader in terms of infection rate between mobile users. So there is right now India at number 9 with 34% all Kaspersky customers were attacked by any kind of malicious software for mobile phones at least once at last year. Right now in India, most popular mobile paying platform is Paytm, right?
Yeah.
There is about 200 million mobile wallet of Paytm. So just imagine if cyber criminals from Russia, for example, they starting to create malicious software dedicated especially to target this mobile platform. And right now we have 30% of customers which at least once have infection in last year.
Right.
So
it's starting.
just imagine, you can easily see at least 6 dozens of millions potential victims in India next year from mobile devices. So I think for Indian banks it's really time to rethink how to create safe mobile applications, how to protect users not only who use online banking from desktop, from laptops, but from mobile applications. There is a very good example in Russia. For example, biggest Russian bank, they use own developed application, mobile application to their mobile banking. At the same time, they embedded to implement it to this application Kaspersky Lab solution. We provide them special API.
Oh, very good.
Yes, antivirus engine and database. So that means every customer of this bank, mobile customer of this bank in Russia, it's 5 million of customers
Right.
from mobile applications. Any signs of malicious software. So in case if something detected on this smartphone, of course, it will be any working with mobile account stopped. So you know, it's new level of protection.
So this API or this integration with the mobile bank,
Yes.
is this available for Indian banks also?
Yes, it's API. We can provide this solution to every bank in the world.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
As I see you, you are one of the longest IT professional and the youngest that the world sees. What do you feel are the key findings over the last 20 years which changed a lot in cyber espionage or cyber crime?
You know, when it started 20 years ago, there was no cyber crime, actually. There was a lot of like hooligans, guys who tried to create some malicious software just for fun. You know, when I first, my computer virus was found, it was only MS-DOS operational system. There is no Windows. And I saw in reality how it develops. In 2002, I think it was first cases related to cybercrime and Russian cybercrime. I saw in details how Chinese cybercrime was begin and how it developed from cybercrime to very complex cyber espionage attacks. Right now, it's totally different pictures because, as I said, 20 years ago, it was only hooligans.
Yeah, just a small.
10 years ago, it was always and almost cyber criminals. So everything about profit, how to earn money, how to steal money.
Right.
Unfortunately, we have some terrorist organizations which also try to create malicious software on prepare any cyber attacks. So, and of course there is commercial cyber espionage, when one company can hire hackers and ask them for money to hack our competitors, to steal commercial secrets or blueprints. It started in 2004 when first mobile virus was discovered by Kaspersky Lab. Our group was first who discovered first mobile virus in history. It was a mobile worm for Symbian, for Nokia phones. And since that moment, a number of malicious samples created for mobile phones, it's incredible growth. You know, right now, every day, we found new piece of mobile malware. It's about 5,000 new mobile Trojans every day.
Right.
It was a problem, it's still a problem. And now we have problem with mobile devices, mostly for Androids, because Android is market leader, of course, and for cyber criminals, it's very easy to create malicious software for Android also.
Right.
And as I said, we have a lot of new players in this area.
So you spoke about the actors, you talked about the threats. What can you tell us more about the victims? Are they classified separately? How do you see the victims?
Yeah, look, if you look at, I call it threat pyramid, you know, because I think 90% of all current incidents, all victims, it's, I think 90% of them, it's still, of course, average customers, home users, people who using laptops at home, people who using smartphones, it's average customers. Next, we have private companies on any research institutions, for example, you know, science, I don't know, aerospace,
Right.
any research and development, especially, for example, in pharmacy industry, there are a lot of cyber espionage in this area right now. So there is two kind of companies in the world. One, those who knows they already been victims, and second, who doesn't know they already a victim. So that's my opinion. I think every company in the world, at least once, were attacked for different reasons, for money, for asking for pay ransom to decrypt data, from competitors try to penetrate this company, maybe some just random attack, you know, it's mass outbreak epidemics. 9 years ago, it was configure worm. It's millions of victims around the world were infected just because this worm was totally without control. Infect everything as much as possible, but it was huge loss and huge damage for global economy because a lot of businesses were just stopped because there is no operations. And last year, we discovered some very complex and very dangerous cyber attacks against Indian entities. I think if you look at a government institution, it was Dante attack. Dante group, from our experience, from what we have, some kind of attribution we did, looks like it's Chinese-speaking actors behind this attack against some Indian ministries and agencies. They tried to infect as much as possible, just to steal as much as possible information.
Right.
It's not about money, it's just about information. From cybercrime groups, we've seen some attacks against Indian banks, for example.
Right.
It was Russian cyber criminals who tried to steal money from Indian banks and tried to infect ATMs across India.
Right.
At the same time, there are a lot of incidents in Asia right now related with Lazarus Group. Lazarus Group probably from North Korea.
Yes.
This famous story with Bangladesh Central Bank heist in last year. This group responsible for that incident, and the same group also responsible to Sony Pictures hack a few years ago. So right now for India there is, I think, two big problems, right? Cyber espionage from neighboring countries like China and Pakistan, unfortunately, and from some cyber criminal groups. There's Russian-speaking hackers who try to infect financial area in financial sector in India, and these North Korean groups. So this is very, very dangerous situation.
So can you mention some specific guidelines for the CISOs?
So cyber criminals, of course they're using some gaps in security, right? There is not enough right now using only one antivirus solution. You should use as much intelligence as possible.
Right.
Of course, you should use not typical antivirus. You should use special solution like, for example, Kaspersky anti-targeted platform created especially to detect targeted attacks, which it's not the same as typical Trojan. It's very different piece of malware. Sometimes it's even hackers, they use legitimate software, like remote administrator tools, which is not backdoors, it's not Trojans, it's not detected by usual antiviruses. There is no signature for this kind of software. But with threat detection, with targeted detection platform, you can easily spot and see using of this software inside your network and block them. This additional level of protections, it's control of network communication. Because in case of targeted attacks, there always should be, incoming and outgoing connections from command and control servers.
Yes.
So there is a way how to detect almost everything, just to control network flow to unknown and some, suspicious IP addresses or websites. So there is a lot of new technologies like machine learning to not signature detection. There's machine learning embedded into Kaspersky products. Of course, at the same time, there are a big problem with security awareness. You know, because staff of companies, people simply maybe doesn't know about current threats, right? Yes. And this case with Bangladesh Central Bank, for example, from what we see in that case, looks like hackers who behind this hack of Bangladesh Central Bank, they just visited LinkedIn social network and tried to find employees of Central Bank of Bangladesh on LinkedIn. Yes. And from them, they found one guy with job description, Swift administrator.
Oh, you have it.
So, it's clearly should be victim. It's exactly that guy you have to infect to get access to Swift network, right? So that means you should have some policies inside your organization. What information your employee can provide to public internet, to social networks. So that's why we have special trainings, digital forensic investigation. We have special trainings to how to create Yara rules. What is Yara? Yara is very good open source free tool. And in some cases, banks or any financial organizations, they're not willing to provide samples or any information to antivirus companies, because it's maybe related with customers' data, something like this. So, but you have to somehow to detect and clean up your system. So Yara is answer for that. You can use Yara inside your organization and you create own rules how to detect this malicious software. So as Kaspersky Lab expert, we have special trainings how to create these Yara rules. So we can teach you, we can study, we can show you how to, without any specific, experience, create very simple rule and run this scan across your network to detect every infected PC and clean them.
Wow.
So we have this.
Kaspersky has been known predominantly as an antivirus company. But as we talk more about the services, how do you think Kaspersky could help the Indian customers, and what are the other services that you all provide?
Of course, we started as antivirus company, but actually antivirus is dead in a classical way.
Right.
Because right now, no, it's not enough using one antivirus, and of course we develop a lot of new things. services, of course, and we have some new technologies. We have own operational system, Kaspersky operational system created especially for critical infrastructure, for industries. It can be used on big factories, on power plants, for example, but it's different story.
Right.
And we speak about services. Of course, we have a lot of services. We have a lot of threat intelligence, which we can share to any company, even without using Kaspersky products. You can have access to own feeds, like feed about mobile malware, new samples.
Yeah.
We have feed about botnets,
Right.
about command and control servers around the world, so you can easily deploy these rules in your network firewall to detect any connection from your organization to these IP addresses. So apart from them, we have a special service, threat intelligence report, private report for customers.
Right.
Just for example, in this year, in 2017, in 4 months, we already released 47 private reports, almost, I don't know, 2 reports per week.
Okay.
90% of information, it's never been published and never be published. So it's totally very confidential information which we provide to our customers without public announcements. So that means cyber criminals who is behind this attack, they simply doesn't know.
No, yes.
Yes, there is no public attention. So maybe it's still working, so they continue the attack.
Right.
But you are already informed. You have preparation, you have all detections, and so you are protected.
So at the end, it's also a lot of mind game.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
that you play. Right. So thanks a lot, Alex, and we had the honor to host Alex Gostau, truly an encyclopedia on cyber espionage and cybercrime. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thanks.